This is a second and third stimulus check update. The $2,000 per month stimulus check may be making a comeback. I'll let you know what was recently said about it and how it could actually happen. With the $1,400 stimulus check, it's receiving criticism from both Democrats and Republicans. I'll let you know what was said about that. With the second $600 stimulus check, if you haven't received it yet or didn't receive past stimulus money, I'll let you know of a free tool of how you could claim that money. Also, I'm giving away $200 checks to my subscribers. More details on that later on in the video. I hope you're having a great day so far. If you could do me a quick favor and hit the like button down below, this way YouTube could share this video with more people. Let's start with the juicy news first. So Jack C commented saying we should get $2,000 a month until the end of the so-called pandemic. And a lot of people agree with that. So Ed Markey, Senator Ed Markey from Massachusetts, is pushing for the $2,000 per month stimulus. He recently said the $1,400 in direct cash assistance is a down payment that will help families make rent, put food on the table, and pay the utility bills after the Senate Republicans blocked that additional funding back in December. He continues to say, but we must still pass my legislation with Bernie Sanders to provide $2,000 monthly payments to working people through the duration of the pandemic. So this was originally introduced back in May, but it's somehow coming back because of Joe Biden being the president and also the Democrats winning the Senate. He also tweeted saying, when this pandemic began, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, and I fought for $2,000 monthly payments for the American people. That fight continues, and when Joe Biden is sworn in as the next president, we will immediately get to work delivering this badly needed relief. So just a reminder, Kamala Harris, who was included with this $2,000 stimulus check monthly bill, she's now the vice president, or going to be in a couple days, and Bernie Sanders is going to be the Senate budget chair, which is probably the most important person in the Senate regarding money. So can the $2,000 per month stimulus actually happen? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Of course, we all want it, but is it going to happen? Technically, it can happen because of the majority in the Senate. With the reconciliation process, they can push that through, but will they is the big question. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Any new news I find out about it, I'll let you know. I don't want to speculate and get your hopes up. I just want to tell you the facts and the truth about it. Moving on to the $1,400 stimulus check. So it is getting criticism from both Democrats and Republicans. When Joe Biden announced his plan of the $1,400 stimulus check, AOC was not happy with it, among many other people too. I think Joe Biden campaigned on the promise of a $2,000 stimulus check. Well, actually, after he campaigned, but he campaigned for the Senate Democrat race in Georgia, saying that if you vote for the Democrats in Georgia for the Senate race, then you're going to get the $2,000 stimulus check. Then when it came down to his announcement and introducing the bill, he said it's going to be $1,400, $2,000 in total. It's sort of a letdown. I think a lot of people are still happy to get money, but you know, when you say $2,000, people have the expectation of $2,000. So AOC said that $2,000 means $2,000. That does not mean $1,400. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Should it be an additional $2,000, or do you think the $1,400 is fair because with the second $600 stimulus check? She also continued to say that Congress should provide retroactive unemployment relief in addition to the $400 per week that Biden included in the latest proposal. That's one side of the argument where Democrats are saying that we need more, but Republicans are also criticizing it, saying that it is too much. So when Joe Biden introduced the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan, a lot of Republicans were not for it. One of them being Republican Senator from Florida, Rick Scott, saying, we have to get serious about how we're spending tax dollars. We cannot simply throw massive spending at this with no accountability to the current and future American taxpayers. So that's what a lot of Republicans are saying, that this is too much. Of course, over the past 8 months, we've seen a lot of the Senate Republicans not for any stimulus whatsoever. Seems the Republicans in the House are a little different. They're a little more lenient when it comes to stimulus for the American people. But you may be wondering, now that the Senate is majority of Democrats, can this just pass through without any Republican support? Yes, it can, but Joe Biden said that he wants bipartisan support. Starting off his presidency, if he just pushes through with the stimulus, that may hurt the relationship between Democrats and Republicans in the future. Because of the reconciliation process, it can actually pass. So Bernie Sanders says, when Republicans control the Senate, they use the reconciliation process to provide huge tax breaks for the rich and large corporations. We're going to use reconciliation to protect working families, the sick, and the poor. So basically, the way reconciliation works is there's two ways that you could pass a bill through the Senate. You could either have 60 votes, which means 10 Republicans and 50 Democrats would have to vote for this next stimulus package, or you could have what's called reconciliation, where basically the majority wins, and you could do that 3 times per year. So it's 50-50, Democrats or Republicans, and then Kamala Harris would be the tiebreaker for the Democrats. That's assuming that 100% of the Democrats vote for it, because Joe Manchin is one of the people who said, or one of the Democrats who said that he is not for this big stimulus package and these stimulus checks. Here's a clip from Ron Klein, who is the upcoming chief of staff for Joe Biden, and talking about Joe Manchin opposing it. Here's that clip right now.
Believe that there will be continued supply and distribution of that supply to hit that target of 100 million shots in 100 days.
President-elect Biden unveiled his plans for sweeping massive $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package on Thursday, which includes giving Americans an additional $1,400 in direct payments. But Democratic Senator Joe Manchin indicated to me last week that he's not going to be on board unless payments are targeted to people who have lost their jobs, not just people who make under $75,000 a year. You're going to need Manchin's vote to pass this in all likelihood. Is the president-elect open to making these payments more targeted?
Well, I think we want to have a conversation. We've started one with Senator Manchin and every other member of the Senate to try to get support for this package. It's a bold package. It does what we need to do, Jake. We're in a lot of trouble as a country. This virus, as we've talked about, is raging out of control. We need money to distribute the vaccines. We need money for testing. We need money to make our schools safer, to slow the spread of the virus there as we reopen schools. We need money for the full range of COVID responses. We also need to help people that are hurting, and those checks are part of that. So, I've been in this town a long time. I know how it works. The president proposes, the Congress disposes. We will engage the Congress, members of both parties, in a debate about the president's proposal. We think it's what the country needs, and we're going to try to make that case very strongly, as the president-elect did last Thursday night, and as we'll do going forward from here.
And if you appreciate the straight-to-the-point, fast-paced, fact-based videos like this, then subscribe to the channel if you want more stimulus updates of what's going on with the $2,000 per month, $1,400 and $600 stimulus checks. Subscribe to the channel and I'll give you the latest info when it comes to that. Moving on, Joe Biden is talking about the 14 million Americans who have fallen behind on rent and soon risk eviction. So the eviction moratorium is until January 31st, just a little over a week away. And if that isn't extended, then around 14 million Americans are going to be evicted. So the clock is ticking when it comes to that. Here is a video by Joe Biden talking about this issue and how he's going to address it this upcoming week.
Approximately 14 million Americans are falling behind on rent, many at risk of eviction. If we don't act now, there'll be a wave of evictions and foreclosures in the coming months as the pandemic rages on. This would overwhelm emergency shelters, increase COVID-19 infections as people have nowhere to go and can't socially distance. Next week, we'll take action to extend nationwide restrictions on evictions and foreclosures. This will provide more than 25 million Americans greater stability instead of living on the edge every single month. And I'm asking Congress to do its part by funding rental assistance for 14 million hard-hit families and tenants. It will also be a bridge to economic recovery for countless mom-and-pop landlords.
Just a side note, who else thinks that Joe Biden needs reading glasses when reading off of the teleprompter? So he's talking about the eviction moratorium, renter's assistance. So what's going to happen is that's part of the big stimulus package, but that package would have to pass before January 31st for the eviction moratorium to be extended. So he may have to have that as a standalone bill. And if he's going to have that as a standalone bill, he might as well have the stimulus check of $1,400 as a standalone bill as well. Otherwise, we may have to wait months, as we've seen with the past process. So I'm going to answer your questions now that you leave for me in the comments. If you want me to answer your question, just type the word question in the comments. This way I could search question and find it. So Leah Hartzell asks, so does that mean we're only getting $1,400 or will we get an additional dependent pay too? Yes, so it is not a $2,000 stimulus check. It's going to be a $1,400 stimulus check, and adult dependents and child dependents you get $1,400 for as well, which is, I think, much better because adult dependents got screwed with the first and second stimulus check. Ricky Johnson asks, can you explain the $15 an hour minimum wage more? Yeah, so that means federally and everywhere in the country, you're going to get $15 per hour minimum wage. That means you can't get paid any lower than $15. Even if you work at a fast food place or any entry level position, it's going to be at least $15 per hour. Tanya Williams asks, is Joe Biden going to include the $200 or was that campaign strategy? Can you please find out? It's hard with SSDI benefits with prices so high. Great question. So Joe Biden campaigned on the promise of $200 per month for SSI and SSDI, saying that you're going to get an additional $200 per month or $2,400 per year. That is still on his website for the campaign, but yet we haven't heard about it at all with his stimulus package or any mention of it since he's been elected. So he's going to be inaugurated in 2 days. Hopefully we'll hear about that soon, but if you want the latest on that, I'm definitely going to report on it. So subscribe to the channel and I'll let you know what happens with that. But yeah, no news on that, which is kind of crazy. Regarding the $600 stimulus check, there is a new way of how you could claim it, and it's a new free way. So according to the IRS website, the recovery rebate credit, basically, if you didn't receive your second stimulus check, your first stimulus check, or any money from your child dependents, then this is the free way to do so. So if you go to the IRS website and you type in, so it's irs.gov/free file, you'll find it here, and this is the way to do it. So you click on that and you're going to get to this page here, and then if you make less than $72,000, you're going to click this button right here, and this is how you're going to claim that recovery rebate credit. Even if you've never paid taxes before in your entire life, or years, or minimal taxes, this is the way to do it. You're going to have to file a small tax return just so you could get any money that's owed to you from stimulus. So you could choose a program, you could choose Browse All, or have a lookup tool that's based on your situation. So these are the different programs through the IRS. Ideally, you want to do this through the IRS website because, of course, they've been vetted. They've been, made sure that they're doing the right thing. It's not some scam. So you would then go through this, make sure that your state is eligible for it, your age, your income, and then you just click through and file that tax return to get that rebate recovery claim for any stimulus money that you didn't receive. Let me know if you have any more questions on this. I could go more in detail if you want in the future. Moving on to COVID cases. So we've had a low yesterday, 169,000 cases. This is the lowest it's been in, I think, about 18 days. Which I think is pretty good. And in vaccine news, it looks like that Dr. Fauci is saying that the approval of the Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca vaccine could be weeks away. So the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is just a one shot, and the AstraZeneca is actually approved in a few other countries. So Pakistan has become the latest to approve the AstraZeneca vaccine for emergency use only. And then in Brazil, they actually have two vaccines that are approved, one of them being the AstraZeneca for emergency use, and then this other vaccine called COVID-Vac, which has a 50% efficacy rate, which is barely above the 50% minimum established by the World Health Organization. This is from a Chinese company and is being used in Brazil for emergency use. I find that really interesting. But let me know your thoughts on this. Are you still willing to take any of these vaccines? It's not open to the public yet, starting with higher age and healthcare workers, and then probably in the next couple of months, we're going to see more, because Joe Biden said in his first 100 days he wants to offer 100 million shots. Next, I'll talk about the $200 checks for my subscribers. So to help out the Wise Flies community during these hard times, and also to just give back to the community, and I appreciate all of your support, watching, viewing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. That means a lot to me. I want to give back. So I'm going to give out $200 checks to my subscribers. The way to enter this, just stay subscribed to the channel. In tomorrow's video, I'm going to announce the details of how you can enter to win the $200 check. And I'm giving this out to multiple people, so stay tuned to that. That is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To brighten your day a bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you something that you should do. But when you want to do something and you want to do a goal, then believe in yourself. Like if you want to ride a bicycle, drive a car, or do anything that you want to do, you have to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself with your mind. Or if you don't believe in yourself, you won't get it right. So, and also there's something else that I wanted to tell you. You have to believe your dreams in order for your dreams to come true. And that's all the suggestion that I wanted to say. Bye!
And if you were looking to buy a car soon and want to know a simple formula of how much car you could afford without getting into debt, I recommend clicking this video over here. It goes over a simple formula called the 20-4-10 rule. And by this formula, you're able to figure out how much of a car you can afford without going into debt and causing more financial problems in the future. So click that video now. It's on my Wise Sense channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.